Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Wendy Chen. Thank you for joining us. Coming up in today's show, the winter aid distribution in China's Hubei province is helping 279 families in Taipei city. In our feature report on internet addictions, we travel to remote areas to find out why fewer children here are short-sighted or addicted to the internet. And we meet a septuagenarian farmer in Yilan, Guangzhou, who grows his own vegetables and travels to Taipei each day to sell them. First up in China, Tzu continues to hold winter aid distributions for the needy. Today we join the volunteers as they visit residents in Taipei city, which is located in the southern part of Hubei province. With the help of local government, Wuhan Tzu volunteers handed out rice, cooking oil and warm blankets and clothes to 279 households.
In China's Hubei, Tzu volunteers lead residents in doing a little exercise to warm up their bodies before the aid distribution begins. Inside Chibei's military warehouse station, items are neatly placed, waiting for the distribution to start. A welcoming song and a letter from Master Zhen Yan warms the hearts of many. Tzu's love also extends to the free clinic, as doctors safeguard the health of local residents.
Staying in China over the past 3 years, Tzu volunteers in Beijing have regularly visited the senior residents at a local nursing home each month. On their latest trip last Sunday, December 16th, as the current temperature is 10 degrees below zero, the volunteers led the seniors in doing finger exercises and brought new socks in hopes of keeping them warm. The elderly people all agree they always look forward to these visits from Tzu.
Walking into the nursing home, Tzu volunteers, young or old, are holding the seniors out of their room. Over the past 3 years, Tzu volunteers in Beijing have visited the elderly people every month. The volunteer's sincere care touches 90-year-old Grandma Wan. Knowing that 2 pairs of socks are not warm enough, the volunteers bring her a new pair of socks. The senior residents always look forward to each visit from Tzu volunteers.
I will keep good health and wait for your next visit.
Seeing them happy, I feel happy too. The seniors' positive attitude have influenced me as well.
As the volunteers bring warmth to the senior residents, spring is not far away.
As New Year is just around the corner, the Tzu Changfeng office in Shanghai held an year-end gathering where Tzu care recipients brought their family members to celebrate the coming holiday. At the event, burn victims expressed their gratitude for Tzu's help by donating money to help other people in need.
Holding her own bamboo coin bank is Gore, a former burn victim.
猪头满了，是不是还回来呀？
跟师姑讲，
要帮助别的小朋友。
Under Tzu volunteers' encouragement, Wang Sisi, who suffered from burns to 49% of her body, opens her heart. Her grandfather and father are relieved to see her embrace a positive attitude.
今天都投吗？这个钱是用来买糖吃的吗？
不是，
是用来干嘛的？
帮别人的。
Tzu volunteers in Shanghai have been caring for the city's disadvantaged for many years. As they continue to face difficulties, the volunteers plan on staying by their side.
I felt sad when I was sick. I always wondered, why me? But the Tzu aunts told me that I should trust my doctor and believe in the power of Buddha. Every day I managed my time well, so I wouldn't think of myself as a patient.
In the minds of these care recipients, the Tzu Chi Changfeng office has become a second home. At this year-end gathering, everyone gives each other blessings and encouragement, wishing for all the best in the following year.
Moving to Taiwan, since last week, Northern District Tzu Chi volunteers have held many year-end blessing ceremonies. The most recent year-end blessing ceremony at the Taipei Tzu Chi General Hospital was joined by many media volunteers who hope to encourage even more people to join their team. Meanwhile, over 1,000 participants attended the ceremony held on December 13th at the Santong Jingsi Hall. Let's take a look.
This is Xu Qingming, who suffers from glaucoma. In spite of his illness, Xu arrived at the Sanchong Jingsi Hall to attend the year-end blessing ceremony. He says he even learned something new during the event.
First, we should adopt a meatless diet, save energy, water, use reusable utensils, and lastly, take public transportation. These steps are easy to remember and not hard to do.
This is the Tzu Chi year-end blessing ceremony at the Sanchong Jingsi Hall. The event was attended by more than 1,000 local residents and care recipients that came to receive their blessings and wisdom red envelopes from the Jingsi Abode Masters.
Tzu Chi spreads the great love far and wide into people's hearts. The volunteers let us know that there is still warmth in this society.
Meanwhile, another year-end blessing ceremony was held at the Taipei Tzu Chi General Hospital, where media volunteers were present to seek out potential volunteers.
We need to find more media volunteers and keep more of them on hand. It is hard to find suitable people.
Through their camera lens, media volunteers record truth, goodness, and beauty. After becoming a media volunteer, Fang Ziyu says she's no longer afraid of the challenges in her life.
I didn't smile for a few days after the surgery because it really hurt, but other than that, I smile all the time. I gained a lot after listening to the Master's words. I want to be a good disciple of the Master.
Seeing the changes in his mother, Chen Wei-ting decided to become a media volunteer too.
My mother gives her love to me and others unconditionally, so I want to spread the love I received from my mother to even more people.
Joining Tzu Chi, you will gain a lot. These are words given by Fang Ziyu to her son, which also mirrors the experience shared by many Tzu Chi volunteers.
Many people have played online games before. However, not everyone that plays these games are addicted to them. In similar cases, many also use the internet for over 10 hours a day at work, yet are not addicted to it either. In today's Internet Addiction series, we take a look at how even students from remote townships will frequent internet cafes and what students take away from participating in the cyber world. Here's more.
小朋友好，你们是什么学校？哦，我现在放眼望去都没有一个小朋友有戴眼镜哎。老师，为什么同学们有这么好眼力？
因为我们有网咖纠察队。网咖纠察队就是只要有小朋友去打网咖，全校的小朋友都是纠察队，
都是纠察队。哦，那我们现在一块去看小朋友这个纠察队的任务是什么做的，好不好？走，走。
In Kaohsiung's remote townships, the internet cafe is actually just a corner of a dime store. The students gather here after school, using 10 NT dollars to buy 50 minutes of happiness.
那家里有网路的，
举手，
举手。
你家有电脑有装网路的？
哦，那很多啊。
家里的不好玩，那我看的我的比较好玩。还要投钱。为什么我看的比较好玩？
The children will pull their money together to play one character. Although everyone puts money in, only one of them is actually playing. The rest stand behind to watch and cheer.
National Jiao Tong University assistant professor Zhang Yupei found children frequent internet cafes to bond and spend time with their friends.
It is dangerous for children to play these games with strangers, but the attraction to play is still there. In the end, they will think up of a way to play after school with their friends.
Using money to buy temporary happiness is not a new concept, but not everyone becomes an addict. Also, not everyone who uses the internet for prolonged periods of time becomes an addict. So there must be other factors at play.
Children who display low self-esteem, those who have trouble making friends, do not have close family bonds, or have a lot of homework pressure. Also, those who are bored or are easily anxious or depressed will fall victim to the attraction of the cyber world.
This information gathered by the team over at Taiwan's Internet Addiction Net shows the 8 risk factors of why a person becomes addicted to the internet.
Those who suffer from internet addiction might be looking to forget their troubles. And although the addiction seems like the child is misbehaving, but in actuality, it is a call for help.
When a child's cry for help is not answered by a guardian, they naturally seek comfort among peers and internet friendships to escape from the reality.
His teacher said his math scores are low. However, the student taught me how to maintain a character, how much to sell it for, where to sell it. He knew how to earn money in online games.
A student doing bad in school, yet well in cyber world, naturally gravitates towards the area where he receives the most praise. This is the key draw of online gaming.
网络可以让你们学到什么东西？
可以上网查资料。
查资料。
查知识，听音乐。是可以上网看天气预报。可以那个看报纸，然后也可以看那个是明星。
So each of these items requires technology to help us, but at the same time, we need to be careful. The internet is not necessarily a bad thing. People just need to reach a balance in using it, especially for those younger children who should always use the internet with an adult present.
Next, we bring you a story of love and kindness. A male inspector of the Yunlin Post Office in Dounan Township, 64-year-old Yang Siqian, discovered many lonely people on his trips delivering mails. To help, he began purchasing food for the needy out of his own pocket. His kind deeds have moved many of his colleagues to take similar actions. Therefore, the Yunlin Post Office decided to carry out its first ever winter relief distribution this year.
Taking a stack of letters from the basket, Yang Siqian categorizes the returned letters and parcels. Yang seems to always find a way to deliver the letters to the intended recipients.
The post office is a service provider, and the Postal Act stipulates that we should serve all members of the public.
It is this spirit of public service that motivates Yang to take on responsibilities apart from his job.
Grandma Ah Yin, I've come to say hello.
Bringing supplies as he visits these solitary seniors. For the last 20 years, Yang Siqian has purchased basic necessities out of his own pocket on the eve of each Chinese New Year to help those in need in his community.
He will take care of the elderly. When it's cold, he will come visit us and care for us.
I have sufficient money. We can't take any money with us when we die, so spending it to help the disadvantaged is okay for me.
For those in need, Yang Siqian is like an angel in green, bringing warmth and care that no amount of money can buy.
When patients with catheter or nasal gastric tube return home, they often need special care, and family members without the right knowledge may find it difficult to care for their loved ones. This is when a home care nurse is needed. In our next report, we meet Wang Lan-ying, who visits 7 to 8 families a day to care for these patients with special needs, as well as teach their family members of the things to take note of. Regular visits from medical staff helps this family learn to better care for their bedridden mother. The doctor and nurse also assist in cleaning the patient's wound.
泡漂白水啊，消毒啦，这个管子这管子会变很干净啊，才不会发霉，才可以一直持续使用，对。
Through quality home care like this, 95-year-old Guima Zhang no longer has to continuously visit the hospital for recurrent urinary tract infection problems.
This grandma suffered from recurrent urinary infection in the past, so we are here to teach the family how to catheterize her bladder and monitor the change in her urine.
Whenever family members come across emergency situations, they're also able to seek advice from these home care medical staff.
Sometimes when mom was in critical conditions, such as when her stomach became swollen, I would get scared. Though Lan Ying was on her day off, I would still call her and she told me not to worry. I am grateful to Tzu Ji for giving us so much support. It really helped our family tremendously.
Providing their professional expertise through home care services, these medical staff not only bring love and care to those in need, but also build a harmonious relationship with their patients and family members. In Taiwan, winter solstice is celebrated by eating sticky rice balls, yet the seasonal dessert is generally regarded as a high-calorie food, with its main ingredient, glutinous rice, being hard to digest. To educate the public on cooking the seasonal dessert in the healthy way, the dietitians and doctors of the traditional Chinese medicine department at the Hualien Tzu Ji Hospital demonstrated how to make a rice ball soup that not only helps with digestion, but also has a low calorie count.
As the winter solstice is approaching, people start to buy rice balls to celebrate.
I never pay attention to how much I eat. I think I can handle it.
Some people follow their doctor's suggestions to eat moderately.
People nowadays don't like to eat sticky rice balls. The doctors also suggest eating less glutinous rice.
To teach the public how to eat these traditional snacks in a healthy way, dietitians and Chinese medicine doctors at the Hualien Tzu Ji Hospital use Chinese medicine to cook low-calorie rice balls.
Eating too much glutinous rice may hamper your digestion or produce gas. Adding some Chinese herbs like cardamom, cassia twigs, and dry tangerine skin can help digestion.
Besides helping digestion, a bowl of sticky rice ball soup like this is only 170 calories, which is equivalent to only a half bowl of rice. Hualien Tzu Ji Hospital has prepared various rice ball soup recipes for the public to use and enjoy.
From the perspective of Chinese medicine, eating glutinous rice balls is not good for our health. It can hurt our muscles and bones. In the future, I'll make a rice ball soup by adding Chinese herbs.
Thanks to these doctors' advice, the public can now enjoy this seasonal dessert without health concerns.
In today's feature report on Taiwan's unique traits, we meet septuagenarian farmer Guan Zhongnan, who travels via train to Taipei every day to sell his vegetables. Guan, like many farmers in Yilan, grows his own vegetables before selling them in one of Taipei's many outdoor traditional markets. Despite his age, the senior farmer is not afraid of the hard work that comes along with his job and is determined to continue the trade for as long as he can.
对个早，你笑。
叫什么菜？
这有了空心菜哦，花菜，有挂菜、咸菜，真济项了。听啊，要那个大伙啊，忙做啊，忙叮当，叮当。这几个几年啊咯，你看拢乌呀，这几个几年啊。
Despite busy preparing vegetables till late last night, Guan Zhongnan still gets up before sunrise, ready to start his day. Using a wooden pole to carry the 2 baskets of vegetables on his shoulder, the farmer has no complaint and says he has been doing the same thing for the past 4 decades. Taking the first train at 4:43 a.m. departing for Taipei, Guan, like many farmers, not only grows his own vegetables, but also sells them. The train then takes this group of early birds from the countryside to the city. On the bumpy ride to Taipei, everyone tries to take a nap, as they know the day ahead will be a long one. Despite his frail figure, Guan manages to carry the 80 kilo worth of vegetables on his shoulders. Across the station, the farmer puts his vegetable on a trolley and walks for another 30 minutes before reaching the outdoor traditional market.
Yes, sir. Oh, I don't do it heavy. I got it over there.
The number of customers varies each day. However, what remains the same is the price of these organically grown vegetables that Guangzhou Nan sells for 20 to 30 NT dollars a bunch.
It's more than a $10 difference. If we sell it here for 20, we will be able to sell for 30 there. We can't make money in Yilan. We are better off at selling them in Taipei. I'm used to it. I have been doing this since I was 15, and I'm over 17 now.
After my husband leaves to sell vegetables, if the weather is good, I will be busy watering the vegetables here. As long as we have food on the table, we don't have to make a lot of money. And my children are grown up and have their own jobs. That's enough for me.
Content with what they have and living their lives day to day is an attitude many of these countryside farmers share. Although the opening of the Snow Mountain Tunnel had a huge impact on Yilan's farmers, nevertheless, Guangzhou Nan is determined to continue selling vegetables the traditional way. Before the upcoming winter break, 40 students joined Tzu Chi volunteers in Penghu on a trip to the local nursing home. The volunteers and students prepared clay for the seniors to make their own pottery so that they may exercise their fingers. The presence of the volunteers and the students brought smiles to each of the seniors' faces. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for tuning in. Goodbye.